Initiating System 1. System 1 loaded.
The GoreCast is brought to you by American Horrors, the greatest uncut horror channel in the world. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, all horror. As well as the station of decapitation without your head.
America's longest running horror channel, www.withoutyourhead.com.
The following program is rated TV MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
What's up, GoreCasters? Welcome back here to the GoreCast. It's Sunday. I'm Johnny Deadly. This sweaty guy to the right of me is the Giz. I am also sweaty because it's hot as fucking balls in the studio, and I think it's melted my brain.
I'm actually not that sweaty.
I'm pretty sweaty.
I'm not.
It's the heat. I can't do it. It's not. I'm not designed for this.
See, I wasn't jumping around, so I'm pretty good.
I wasn't jumping around either. In fact, I'm actually incapable of jumping around if you think about it.
Yeah, your knee gonna go crack, slam, bang down.
Yeah, I can do it like twice.
Yeah, but I think that second jump would probably
Yeah,
be
that's
more,
it.
oh god, that was a terrible idea.
The way it would happen is, first jump, you'll hear it, the unmerciful pop and click, and then I'll be an idiot. I'll be like, no, I'm sure it's fine. No, I'm fucked. Yeah, no, I'm fucked. So we just like that. Do that. That's fine. What's up, everyone? Welcome here on Sunday. It's another GoreCast. We haven't done one of these ones in a while. It's been a couple of weeks where we got a whole host of horror screeners. It's a couple of weeks, isn't it?
Can we do screeners? Yes. No, we didn't.
No.
You're right. It was actually.
It's a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
It's over two, which makes it effectively in the couple genre.
We're good.
There we go.
We're good.
Excuse me. So we got a whole host of horror screeners for you. We got Killer Clowns. We got Faceless Men / Crazy Bikers / Russian Mobsters
/ the Australian equivalent of a Tarantino movie.
Kind of. And we've got a really cool movie full of immortals.
That we.
And I'm not ruining the plot because the movie's immortal. So
I was going to say that we may or may not have received accidentally, but thank the gods we did, because it was so.
No, just to clarify, we didn't receive it accidentally. We did get the package in to send off for the screener, which I probably did send off for the screener for it as well. But when I was talking to the person that I won't talk names about, because I don't with the thing.
No, it's cool.
I was talking about a movie called Widow's Point, is what I was pretty sure I sent the reply for the email to. Widow's Point. But then we got this instead, which I had requested because I went through my emails. I had requested it, but in a separate email. So there must have been some cross connection. Anyway, regardless, it's got Tony Todd and it's got Sam Levine and it's got a whole host of
Mario Van Peebles.
Yeah, loads,
Yeah.
loads of heads in this, and it's good.
We can get to it later.
We'll get to it later on.
Really good fun.
How's your week been since Thursday? I forgot we were here Thursday.
ECW filled.
ECW filled, as in you just sat down watching loads of ECW, or is there some resurgence I've missed out on?
No, mainly the first one. I put it on something. It was like background noise at first while I was doing other stuff, and then I was like, I forgot how much I love ECW. ECW.
Who can forget how much they love ECW? ECW's amazeballs.
Yeah, there was 3 volumes of ECW unreleased, and I kind of put them on back to back. So
Oh shit. Okay.
after that was kind of my Friday and Saturday, really, to be perfectly honest. And today I got films watched.
Sounds good. Sounds hella good. What's up, Reaper? How are you, man? We're good. I'm just finishing off doing this kind of things.
Normally I'd kick into the news, but I know how you like to do that change thingy when we're in a newsroom.
Do you want to go into the news now? We can do that.
Might as well.
It's time for the news.
Okay. Were you going to say it's less depressing?
It's news, but it's horror. There we go. Sorry, the mic wasn't active in the newsroom for some reason.
Oh, that's what that was.
That's what that was. Yeah, it's news, but it's horror, so it's not depressing. That's what I was going to say, if memory serves me correctly.
Okay. Well,
So what's up first in the newses? The news bees, the newsy woos.
Firstly, it seems that the director of the awesome Stakeland, Jim Mickle, is going to be taking a stab at adapting a Stephen King book called From the Buick 8. It was a short story written back in 2002.
Oh shit! There we go.
Sorry, I was reading that wrong. Back in 2002, I should say, both George A. Romero and Toby Hooper had been attached to possibly directing an adaptation of the Stephen King book, but that obviously did not happen.
Hello, Pam.
Hey, Pam. So, announced back in 2019, producer Courtney Jane. Yeah, sorry. Announced back in 2019. Jesus Christ.
It's not affecting you, no?
No, it's not. My tongue tied and reading articles wrong is affecting me. To be perfectly honest, I think there's a hair on her face. Not even one of mine anymore.
Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
Anyway. From a Buick Gate centers around the rural town of Statler, Pennsylvania, where the state police have kept a mysterious 1954 Buick Roadster in the shed behind the barracks for over 20 years. When the town is plagued by strange and supernatural events, turns out the Buick isn't what it seems to be. So, that's what it is. Thomas Jane is set to star in it, because Thomas Jane really apparently likes doing...
Here's a man called Jane. Sorry.
I was going to say he really likes doing these Stephen King adaptations, because he was in The Mist, and he was in... What else was he in? Dreamcatcher, yeah. So.
Dreamcatcher. Very good.
And he was also Frank frickin' Castle in the terrible Punisher movie.
Not so good.
But then he was Frank frickin' Castle in the awesome short movie Dirty Laundry.
Very good.
Very, very good.
Very good.
Very good.
Very good.
So anyway, like I said, point of that story is Jim Meckle, man directed...
Meckle man.
It's the round picture.
This is what you said for News 1. James 1, remember?
So that tells us what news story 2 is going to be. Don't touch the picture. It's the right picture.
Okay. We're just going to put...
No,
this
there's
is
no
the right
point.
picture?
Stop. There's no point in changing the picture because I was moving on to the next story anyway.
Okay, wait. I am just going to put this
That
picture
is
on
the
first.
right...
There's something gone weird here.
With what?
Many things. Did you say this is the right picture?
For now, yes.
Perfect.
Just leave. Yep.
You can keep going.
Okay.
The right picture is on screen.
All right. Okay. So, it turns out that James Wan's next upcoming movie, which should have been kind of released in theaters this weekend, has been once again pushed back. It's now kind of been taken off the release schedule completely for the time being until...
Oh, I see what you did. You did the car story first. Gotcha. Sorry. It took me a minute to clock that James 1 wasn't the car story.
Do you want to know what actually had me confused a while ago? The fact that I was talking for 10 minutes and it took you that long to figure out that I wasn't talking about whatever story you had for a picture up on the thingy.
I was trying to fix stuff.
I know, but it was just weird.
There's a documented system to the way this show works, right? You do the talking during the news bits. I chirp in a little bit with my whimsical thoughts and ordinarily distracting sidebars, and that gives me time to do the sherry shares and set stuff, move with the... Yeah. But it worked out kind of well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, as I was saying, Malignant, which is James Wan's movie, is not hitting theaters this weekend, as it was supposed to be. In fact, it's been taken off the release schedule altogether until, well, I imagine until people figure out when movie theaters are actually going to be able to open, which, fair enough, if you're not ready to move straight onto a digital platform, then all right, But in the meantime, it seems Annabelle Wallis, who is going to be starring in it and has been in Annabelle and apparently was in that terrible movie that we don't talk about with Tom Cruise.
Which one?
The one we don't talk about.
There's Manny.
The one he did recently that fucked up an entire
that one.
litany of movies.
That one. Yeah. Sorry. The Brendan Fraser Mummy series. Is that the one you're on about? The reboot of the Brendan Fraser Mummy series.
Except it wasn't supposed to be. Now, was it?
No. Some people were unaware that there was a franchise called The Mummy before Brendan Fraser existed.
I'm pretty sure some people are unaware that there are other actors in films before he existed himself.
No, I can't remember what interview it was, but it actually did turn out that he was unaware that there was Mummy movies before Brendan Fraser. Yep.
So anyway, in *Malignant*, it's like I said, Annabelle Wallis is describing it as being brave and genre-bending. It's really going to be something that audiences are pretty wowed by because it's a real passion project for James Wan. Apparently she's very excited to see how it's going to come out, or how it's received, I guess. It's described as, I love how this is put in big bold letters just so that people understand it, because it's a sign of the times, okay? It is. Described as an original thriller not based on an existing IP, so I imagine that means that, Google and AOL and all the rest of it don't have any rights to it. We're told that the film is going to be part of the giallo subgenre. So I know IP isn't actually a computer thing, it means,
property.
Why can't people just say that for once they're not doing a remake of somebody else's fucking story and someone's actually gone along and
this
put in a
may
little
shock
bit
you
of
people.
originality?
This may shock you, but we've made a movie.
And
There's
it's
been no
not
book
been
about
done
it.
before.
There's been no TV series. There's no comic book. There's no video game. It's just we had an idea for a flick, and we were like, do you know, that sounds like a good idea for a movie. And then we fucking knuckled down, and we wrote a script. And just to clarify yet again, because I know this is gonna fucking blow your minds, but it hasn't existed before. It's an original property.
Now, that's also worth noting because apparently they did something very, 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 very intelligent, which I'm sure the PR crew are going to completely fuck up. At the moment, the story for this movie is being kept under wraps. I'm sure once the first trailer comes out, we'll know exactly what it is, how it ends, and every fucking jump scare in it.
Hopefully not. Hopefully not.
I can't remember the name of it. There was some movie with Liam Neeson in it. He's on a train. I saw the trailer. It actually told me the end of the film. It was great. It was like a Liam Neeson movie in 5 minutes. Just watch the trailer.
Sorry. I'm missing something off my desk that used to keep my phone propped up, and I don't know what it is. It's fine. It's all good.
Was it a clamp thingy?
No, that's there. I just can't reach it. I'll go to touch my phone and punch your glass of water clean off the table into the plugs or something. So that's fine where that is. We'll just leave that. Anyway, is that the end of the James Waniness?
It is. We're on to the next one. I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of this is a movie that's going to be coming out, and I like the idea of it once again. Let's see. Diary aims to stalk and kill anyone who threatens a famous Instagram model. Okay. Jennifer Gaffer directs the psychological thriller that arrives on VOD platforms August 25th.
Oh dear.
In which Instagram model Mary Clark, who is played by Claudia Marie Mailer, is using her influencer status to pay for her master's degree in comparative religion while moving on from an abusive past.
Oh dear.
It seems Mary's life is finally on the right track until her diary is stolen by an obsessive fan
who
begins sending her love letters informing Mary that they are going to kill anyone who is a danger to her. As friends start feeling like suspects and bodies begin piling up, Marie must confront the demons of her past in order to unmask the killer and reclaim her life. I just like the idea of it because, once again, there's been a couple of movies in recent years that highlight the fact that the self-indulgent narcissism that comes about from a lot of social media is fucking dangerous and is going to get somebody goddamn killed. How it hasn't happened already, I do not understand. Or if it has happened, it's been covered up because no one wants to know the fact that people are tracking you down by knowing exactly what you're doing, where you're going, what you're having for breakfast, and all that.
That has happened, and it was not covered up.
Oh, this is why I don't buy
I think it's even happening currently to some. I saw some news.
Haven't done any. Oh, somebody. Okay. Anyway, I think Followers was one of the best examples we've seen. That was a great example.
Yeah.
But I feel this is another movie whereby, same kind of vein.
Yeah, I also feel if Crazy Stalkers showed up, like, I know it sounds semi-hypocritical as you and I also do social media related shows and things, but
We do TV shows. We don't broadcast our lives.
yes, true. We do kind of an actual constructed show thing, not just vlogging. But there's also, it'd be, if you did, it'd be bad.
Us?
Yeah, like if they showed up to do weird shit in the house, and it's just like, oh no.
I'm going to tell you about an incident that happened last week that I was unaware of, and I just laughed and laughed and laughed and laughed, and you would have laughed too in my position, because the notion was people that shouldn't be in my house arriving in my house, and my response to that.
Get out of my house.
Considering the kind of people and what was probably going to be happening, it was just...
All right, okay.
Yeah.
We'll get more into that after the show. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, it was. I found out about it after the fact, and it was hilarious. Oh, really? Anyway, yeah, that's pretty much the end of my news. We're not going to get into any other news because that's off the record stuff.
Right, we'll be back in the studio in 2 ticks.
Welcome back to the studio, where we're in from our other studio.
We live.
Looks a lot like this one, but it's not.
Just bigger.
If it's not even the same, well, okay.
We're full screen now.
Oh, that's what you meant. We're bigger. Okay, fair enough.
Picturally.
Picturally? Here's a tongue twister. Okay.
Yeah, isn't it? It's way too many syllables.
So, moving on to the movie review segment of tonight's show.
Yes, first up from Wildlife Releasing. Sorry, I blanked there for a second. First up from Wildlife Releasing, we have... No, that's the wrong thing. Wrong one. There we go. We have CLownFace, about a man who's got a face that looks like a clown, but it's somebody else's face. CLownFace.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah. So this tells many stories.
Okay, basically the notion of this is
I was
that...
going to say this tells the story of... Oh no, wait, no, this tells the story of many people actually.
Yeah. Primarily, this tells the story of 2 girls. I want to say Jenna and Zoe.
Yeah.
They are living together at the start of the movie. Zoe looks like she's going to have a fun time with her idiot boyfriend who doesn't know how to do anything right.
It doesn't look like Zoe's going to have a fun time. Zoe, she definitely put on...
I was going to say, it looks like she's going to have a fun time until the idiot boyfriend arrives on, and it's not really... Like, it's... I mean, there was so many things wrong. That's just... Oh, do you know what it was?
Funny story. I won't lie to you. As I watched this opening segment to the movie, where Zoe is abducted in a bedroom by her boyfriend, because they're having a bit of the old kinky wink. Do you know what I mean? Oh no, I happen to be in all this sexy lingerie and brushing my teeth. Whatever will I do if some man came into my house with a ski mask on and tried to berate me?
And fumble through it.
And then politely asked me, is this okay? Am I hurting you too much? Am I, because I know you said about the choking, but I'm not too... Where does it go from choking to GBH is what I'm asking. Just while we're doing this? No.
Make a V with your goddamned hand.
I'm done. No, never mind. It's okay, fine.
Let me put it this way, right? Do you remember when we reviewed Umbrella Academy and there was that great line of...
I do.
Think about Batman and aim lower when describing Diego.
Yes. Think about a B&E.
Way lower.
Yes.
Did you see, like, when he arrived on with the...
I sadly, when all of this was going down, I was like, Giz is going to have a conniption fit watching this. I don't know what, like, I knew. I just knew. I was like, Giz is going to have an absolute fucking conniption.
It gets worse, though, as the film progresses, because we see
yes,
that he really is a knob end. There are a couple of flashbacks, and it's just like, oh, God.
Oh, yeah.
This hurts my brain.
They tried to portray him as the kind of adorably klutzy, not klutzy.
Nerdy.
Nerdy's the wrong word.
he fails to hipstery.
Yeah,
Dumbass.
the nice hipster guy that you can bring home to meet your mum.
Yeah, sure. We're not going to go into what a couple of my issues were with it because we're live on camera.
Yeah, and they're not.
Anyway,
they're not
they don't
very
matter.
much.
They don't
yeah,
matter.
very
They don't matter.
inconsequential in relation to the plot.
Yeah, there are other things that I had bigger issues with.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Jenna goes out for a night out. Zoe has her 5 minutes of fun, and then the rest is just poor bollocks.
Herself and her boyfriend are after discovering the kindling of some kinky winky winky woo, and they're having a bit of a cuddle in the bed, and then it turns out that there's actually a masked fucking crazy person inside in the fucking house who actually knows what he's doing.
So Nabin gets whacked really quickly, and then she gets the back of her pretty head cracked
The
off the
old
wall.
standard axe to the chest, and a very non-effective bash of a head off a wall. It bugs me. Sorry, I was just like, no one's getting knocked out with that. Like, even cut a couple of frames just so it looks like there's more of a fucking ba-dunk, But anyway, regardless, she's lumped out, and Clown Boy
So
takes her off.
Yeah. So then
Cut to what, presumably until halfway through the movie, is...
Oh, not halfway through the movie. You get told really quickly how long it is. I just think you missed it.
Very possibly, because I must have missed one bit, because I was under the impression this all happened over a course of days, if not weeks, maybe. Or should I say weeks, if not days?
Yeah.
Is what I had. And to our shock and awe, it turned out that young Zoe there, she's been missing 12 months. There's a crazy clown guy, literally hacking and murdering people up, and to the best of our knowledge, he does wear the flesh of people's faces that he's carved off into the shape of clown masks.
To be fair, I actually did like the look of the character.
The character looked really, really cool.
Yeah.
The movie was shot really, really well. It had that, I know customarily, not that I always give out about it, but I give out about the overuse of the neon lighting and the too much reds and things and like that sometimes because it's moody and atmospheric.
Oh, I get where you're going.
But this was actually shot really, really nicely. He's got this kind of
kill room?
The killer has this kind of he's got a kill room / evil lair. Some abandoned factory doodad somewhere.
There's a couple of rooms in it. He's got one, and it's like
ironically, seeing as he mentioned Batman but aim lower, same kind of vibe. Imagine Batman villain aim lower. He's got no minions. There's no crazy gadgets and shit like that. But the general setting.
He's got a table and he's got a workbench and he's got a lot of tools.
He's got a couple of rooms he can use as cells. He's ticking along quite well as crazy serial killers go. Not a bad haunt.
Apparently, he's got Zoe in there for nearly a year.
Yes,
and she isn't like
she's quite well kept.
Mentally and physically.
Yeah.
Well
fed, well dressed. She's washed because she doesn't even look like she's been locked in a cage for 12 months. She's washed.
She's not even in a cage. She has a room and a little, bit of a thing.
It's kind of a cage room though, isn't it? Well, there was a cage door.
No, there was a locked door.
Oh, okay. She was in a cage initially.
No.
She was in a cage room initially.
No.
She was when she came to. Where the beds were.
No, it was just the...
Which bugged me because it was like she's presumably been out for hours but he's only tying her up now. Because she came to getting tied up. And I was like, how does that happen?
I don't know.
I was like, step 1, knock her out. Step 2,
at the very least,
remove from building. Step 3, tie her up.
At the very least, after nearly a year in goddamn captivity, that girl should have been way more fucking squirrely than she was.
Yeah.
It
wasn't a bad performance from the actress. It was more, I don't think it was storylined in.
If you tell me that was her after a couple of days, perfect, spot on. You're telling me it's her after nearly a year?
Now, I get the vibe that we're going for, which is she's the tormented capturee who eventually breaks and goes psycho and fucking defends herself. And, the standard kind of final girl that snaps angle. It's just that the mental breakdown that customarily is there for the snapping to happen and warranting the... like the Ellen Ripley thing where eventually, Ripley just gets to the stage where it's just like, all right, fuck this fucking alien. Fuck you. You're getting done.
She's had a bad day.
She's had a bad day. I'm getting my robo armor and we're going to fucking do this. Let's do this. I know that's aliens, not aliens.
I was going to say that's her second bad day.
Yeah, I was just using the woman in general as a reference. But do you know what I mean? The shit gets to a point where she's just like, all right, fuck it. I'm either going to get melted by aliens or they're going to get ripped up by my alien armor or my robo armor. Either or, someone's getting fucked up. You know, there just wasn't that there. We had these couple of scenes where the boyfriend is kind of the ghost of the boyfriend or the spirit of the boyfriend, or this is actually the indication that she's having a mental episode.
Like I said, if you're telling me this stuff happens like a few days or a week, then all of it lines up. If you're telling me it's nearly a year later and a glass of water and a week and a half is all I fucking need.
The one thing I said don't say on air, and you were like, oh, okay.
I didn't mention why, but you know.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yes. Anyway,
that's one thing, right? Anyway, nearly a year later, and apparently Jenna is just getting over the fact that she walked in to find dead Muppet Boy in the middle of the apartment and her friend gone with no trace.
Missing. AWOL.
Yeah, completely.
Kaiser soul checked.
She's finally starting to come out of her shell. She agrees to go to work, take on a job with her friend.
Her dad finally, contrary to the dad's popular conceptions, she decides to get a job. She's got new friends, as you said. They all decide to go out and have a bit of a party.
Yeah, no, she
runs into her old goth friend who's just like, you're the one that killed Zoe.
Well, it's not her goth friend, it's Zoe's old goth
friend.
You're
the one that killed Zoe.
So you have like
unprecedented.
You have a lot of, how can I put this?
Angles.
20-something dramas in the middle of the slasher movie, whereby, you know, Jenna is trying to deal with the fact that she's being accused of making her friend disappear, and
there's also a guy that is traumatized who shows up in a sort of private detective capacity, but it then turns out that he's not really a private dick. He's just a
traumatized gentleman.
Traumatized. The clown guy did something to his brother.
He saw the CLownFace guy when he was a kid. No one believed him. His mother ended up getting abducted when she was returned. It wasn't his mother anymore, which is trying to set up for the fact that, you know, he mentally breaks down his captives.
Yeah, he takes them, he keeps them as pets and turns them into broken little things.
You're telling me that was her after a year and a half?
Yeah, because I won't lie to you, it looked like they were fucking sucking lollipops and giving each other high fives, to be blatantly honest. Like, she like, aesthetically, the level of cleanliness on her. Now, if he was one of these kind of...
gets the hose and...
Yeah, or, you know, those kind of hoity-toity guys. Like, say, Hannibal, for instance. Now, do you know where it's just kind of like, I need them cleaner because eventually I'm going to be eating that meat. You know...
Or just decent hygiene.
Yes, but, like, I mean, do you know what I mean? There's kind of like a character arc that, like, they like the cleanliness or whatever. Or you have your psycho fucking, you know, Jason Voorhees. You have your Michael Myers. You have your...
Frack.
Yeah, like, Freddy Krueger would probably clean you. He'd be in a horrible, fucking, creepy fucking way. But Freddy, he strikes me as a guy that likes a clean meal. Do you know what I mean? Do you get what I'm saying?
You're absolutely right. I bet he would.
He would, like. He would. This guy's very much your meaty, murder, axe-wielding, well, not axe-wielding specifically. He's very...
he likes an axe, but he's good with other stuff as well.
If there's one thing I'll give this guy credit for, he's willing to use... And I like that in the killer, where it's not like, oh, I better go rumbling around for my knife. No, I'm quite happy to pick this very chunky log up and just bash your brains in with that. That'll do me fine. Yeah. It's one of the reasons I like Jason Voorhees so much.
Yeah. He's a connoisseur
I have a machete,
of killing.
But it's there merely as a sidearm, just in case. Mostly, I'm going to grab your legs and fold them over your fucking head. Good stuff. Mostly, I'm going to tie you up in a sleeping bag, set you on fire, and then smash you off a tree. Fantastic.
Or maybe just smash you off.
Mostly, I'm going to do a very, very strange 3D shot, arrow in the face, and you're going to go flying into a lake. Good times.
Huh. In this, however, as I said, it's mainly blade work, to be fair.
Yeah.
Jenna comes out of her shell, agrees to go to a house party. And
it gets bad there.
Yeah, it turns out the CLownFace dude is stalking her the whole time anyway.
Yeah, this is the bit that I lost track of what was going on. Because I was like, what's his fascination with this lady? Because he came in very much looking for Zoe.
I think the biggest issue is the fact that they repeatedly say that it is a year since all this happened. If it was a few days... maybe even a week, then we can go with he's fixated on the flatmate as well. He wants the set. I can buy that.
Yeah, because
No
you
problem.
are. It's a glaring issue because when you do hear the timeline, you're like, hang on a fucking what? Sorry, what? Sorry, what? Like literally no fucking clues. Like your man's not like the guy bust into your once fucking house wearing somebody else's fucking face, smash her boyfriend in the chest with a fucking axe. Nothing, really, not a hair, nothing. He's wearing somebody else's flesh in his face. You're telling me there's no evidence that gives you any indication as to something. Like, there's enough weirdness going on that granted your one's being a spiteful bitch, but she does think fucking Jenna killed Zoe.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
For a
It's
little
very
while,
unfounded, but like, do you
Yeah.
know? And it's a shame because, like, as I said, it shot well. I liked the music; it was quite cool. The look of the killer is great.
Yeah.
Really good, and especially in a world where we have such a saturated amount of killer, supernatural, fucking weirdo clown people going on doing their thing.
It's so easy to go over the top and just like make
Yeah.
it look cheesy and crap, but this looked
You
believable.
look great. I got a
looked
crazy looking
applicable.
clown face. I got a bit of a fucking white supremacist vibe going on with the
Maybe
clothes, and most
maybe I got a
importantly,
trench coat sometimes.
yeah,
and
most importantly, I got a
importantly-
nice big chunky trench coat. Which I
was gonna
like
say
when
most
killers. I
importantly,
like
like an
when
axe.
killers have a big chunky trench coat because it really is a good explicable excuse for where they're pulling all these fucking weapons out
the
of.
pockets are great.
Where'd you get that chainsaw from? It's a very long trench coat. I
That,
won't lie to you.
well, I did fit a sword into. Anyway,
Oh, you can get anything in a trench coat if one's pushed
yeah, I can.
within reason.
Yeah.
Uchi katana is probably you're going to have to admit there's one on your back.
No. You can fit a katana.
They're pretty long. I know. I didn't say a katana. I said uchi katana.
Is
It is big.
shorter than Datanuki, is it?
It would be, but think Sephiroth minus about 2 feet. That kind of thing.
Close to Naginata.
Not Naginata, because the Naginatas are also fucking girthy
like a
as well.
polearm.
Yeah. They're the broadsword of the kind of katana family.
Gotcha. Sorry, I needed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So,
Actually,
killer.
Sephiroth's a perfect example, because, do you know what I mean? He's got a fucking honking big trench coat, but there's no fucking hiding that sword in it.
Anyway,
It's true. It's damn true.
arriving onto the party, CLownFace truly lets loose, and this is one of the times that I'm going to have to go. Hang on a minute. We didn't notice him until he's in the middle of the sitting room. How the hell did he get through the kitchen?
You know, I'm actually willing to let that bit slide. Because just that particular bit, because everyone's fucking langers and everyone's been popping whatever they've been popping. Do you know what I mean? What I found odd was when he got into the living room. And there's...
the music just stops.
The music just stops, which was an odd thing to happen. Number one.
Well, no, actually,
that's not actually
the
one.
music stopped when someone else got to the living room first. Sorry,
Yes,
my bad.
that didn't bug me. Yeah, they stopped when the girl with the
Yeah,
something
yeah,
happens and,
yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
So number one, you should be on high alert that someone... I'm not going to get into what happens because it's quite cool. But something... You should be well aware that things are not going well at the party. I'll put it that way. And then our killer comes in. Now, as I was saying to Giz before the show, he's not Jason Voorhees, Michael Myers size. Do you know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. He's tall. He looked sizably taller than everyone. But he looked like a normal... He wasn't beast mode. Do you know what I mean? And while there was a lot of women in the room, there was also a chunk of big dudes. Several
You and
big
I
dudes.
know several women that would stick a blade in someone faster than you can say, "Oh dear God,
That's-
please don't kill me."
That's very true. But none of them were at this party, and it's very unfair for me to presume that everyone else is as mental as all of our friends.
Very unfair to presume that one or two of them wouldn't be.
Yes. What I did find odd was that in a room where there was easily 10 blokes, that's at no stage. Now, don't get me wrong, your man is wielding a knife. Not a big knife, just a knife.
Thank you for bringing me something like
Bowie knife.
Yeah, it was.
Give or take. Bowie knife. It wasn't a small knife, but it wasn't a fucking machete. Do you know what I mean?
Like serrated though in the back end of it, so I think it was more along the lines of Rambo's combat knife than a Bowie knife.
Regardless, I feel if the Tenny jumped that man,
Oh yeah.
situation solved. We've got Zoe back. We got the CLownFace dude sorted. Gary got it in the stomach, and fuck. Sorry, Gary, but
That'll teach you.
yeah. And there's also a very good chance Gary, you might pull through. Because, thankfully, he didn't get to repeatedly stab you. You just got the
just
big one in the stomach, and then we all bundled on.
You took one for the team,
Yeah.
Gary. So here's some
Occasionally,
duct tape.
Operation Human Shield has to be put in effect, and unfortunately,
okay.
Gary, you're the one at the front of the list.
It's all right. We got super glue and duct tape on standby.
Yeah. If you were 2 feet to the left, it would have been Mike. But it wasn't. Unfortunately, Gary was the one in the way.
Should have stood there, should he? Anyway, CLownFace has a few good things going for it. Primarily the actual killer himself.
Yeah, great character.
And the look of it, there's a lot of the set design for his kill room, torture room, whatever you want to call it.
Lovely.
That actually looked really cool. And I didn't actually realize it until you started mentioning about the fluorescent lights, the neon lights. It wasn't until you mentioned it that I kind of went, that's right. They were only there.
Yeah,
they were
it's only in the kill room, and it really made it was very smartly done because it made what was customarily your normal kind of bad guy. It nearly felt like you were in an alternate dimension to a certain degree.
Give it the right kind of pop.
The right kind of pop. That should have made the girl that was in it go mental. Sorry. She should have lost her fucking mind. I know she technically kind of did, but she didn't. But there was nothing. Like the kill room was there. I mean, one torture scene with her, something. Do you know what I mean?
Even psychological. This was my point earlier.
Anything. Do you know some indication? Like some way.
There was actually. There was one thing that made me kind of go, "Oh." Was it my imagination, or did he feed her human flesh?
There's a good chance he might have fed her own boyfriend.
No, because it would have been a year later. Don't forget.
He probably did feed her human flesh because he's been wearing people's faces. So
now, if that's true, cool. But I feel clarification more just to show that there is some sort of
and also after a year of eating human flesh, you should be well twitchy.
That's everything. Like everything about that circumstance should have been well fucking twitchy.
I genuinely think either shorten down the time storyline wise as to why she's there 2-3 weeks a month. That's ballpark. Especially because the month mark in missing person cases is where they really start going, okay, they're definitely not, not that they don't take it seriously. 72 hours is where they really start going,
Which is far too late. But anyway.
It's far too late. Yeah, you're fucking, you're gone. You've got your kidneys missing and you're sitting in a bathtub somewhere at that stage.
If you're lucky.
But if you shorten that time frame down a little bit, or if you lengthened out, kept the time frame as is, and we had in between all of the kind of the dark thriller drama sections, a little bit of an interrogation or some once she gets into the prison, there isn't a lot of interaction between her and the guy.
Now, here's the thing. They attempt to address this by showing, and they do a weird bit whereby they show Zoe with her boyfriend and the cringeworthy idiocy of her trying to get him into the barest minimum of S&M, and then a couple other bits and pieces that he floundered through. And then I thought maybe that would be kind of like a reflection. I thought that it would go from that to maybe her bound, tied, and something happening. I thought maybe, because there almost was...
Oh, yes, as in she snaps out of it and she's getting...
Like, at first we see the first meeting between the two of them, and it shows
she's doing a sort of out-of-body experience kind of...
Like, the first thing we get is, we see a flashback, and it's her meeting him for the first time, and she brings him up dancing. And then CLownFace comes in, gives her the clothes, has her change into them, and then they're dancing together. Yeah. So I thought, okay, I see where this is going now.
Yeah.
But we didn't get nearly enough of that, and not nearly enough to show that this has been going on for a year.
Yeah, it was left way too much on the dark thriller drama side of things. I feel the major issue with this was it's very hard to mix your slasher movie style flick in with a dark thriller kind of movie. It's not impossible, but it's a hard genre blend.
I think it was more that they were trying to do...
what I was going to say was you either need to kind of lean a little bit more one way or a little bit more the other way. And this just felt like it really did feel like a dark thriller and a slasher film that were slapped together.
You know the way...
I'm saying that in a bad way. Slapped together sounds very...
No. You know the way, like, EastEnders, Coronation Street, Hollyoaks, all these things, the idea is that they try to present you with a world that's just that little bit... It's reality, but dialed up a little bit to 11.
Yeah.
You know...
That little bit OTT.
yeah, most of the time the stuff you don't need to suspend any disbelief, and then every now and then they'll drop something mad like someone's not dead or someone is dead or some kind of. So I feel that this was like a movie attempt at that, whereby you have that kind of level of story and that kind of level of characters, and they're interacting in that kind of way, except that all of a sudden in the middle of it you have the serial killer who happens to be that disbelief that you need to suspend for a little while. And it's that, I think it was that blend that just, maybe for me it just wasn't, I could see what they were trying to do, but personally for me it just wasn't quite clicking. Maybe perhaps a fan of soaps and things like that would actually get that better than I did. You know, it would feel like, you know, oh, I'm watching, I'm watching something I'm familiar with. Oh my God, it's a serial killer thing. You know, and it might work better for that kind of viewer.
Yeah, maybe. Not 100% sure, really.
You and I know a few people that watch their soaps as religiously as they'd watch a blood-fueled violence fest. And I feel that partly they might, you know, that kind of viewer might be into this movie a little bit more than you and I was.
Quite possibly. Will we hit a trailer?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to hit the trailer for CLownFace, and then we're going to be back where we're going to be talking all about the Faceless Man. Which is weird, because it's like we have one guy who's got other people's faces, and then we have another movie with someone who's got no faces. Thank you, Timothy. I love you too. We love you too.
I know.
Did you say I know?
Star Wars. I love you. I know.
It's a great man, Henry.
And it was there, it was also said it back to him.
Every small town has its ghost stories and urban legends. Tomorrow will mark the 1-year anniversary since Zoe Bates and Rick Barker were involved in vicious attacks.
Maybe you remember some more details about the murders. I just feel like I'm going mad.
There's been too much loss and sorrow in this town in the past. He's a ghost story, an urban legend.
So really all you need to do is just a room for a few days, and trust me, a glass of water, or well, the temptation of it, and yeah. Anyway, that was the trailer for CLownFace, which sorry, while we were gone I was explaining some subtleties. Anyway, but yeah, no, I really do think that perhaps that film would find a better reception with people that are a little bit more used to watching soap operas, or you know, it feels like that kind of a thing whereby you're watching that kind of a world, that kind of a setting, and then all of a sudden there's a psycho killer dropped into the middle of it. Maybe.
Anyway, up next we have the Faceless Man from Australia, where we follow Emily, who we find out early on is suffering quite severely and recovering.
The first 5 minutes of this movie
They're great.
It's awesome.
It's great.
Builds a fantastic character in Emily. She is
A scrappy little fighter who won't take no for a fucking answer, and god damn it, if you tell me to go fuck myself, I'll tell you to go fuck yourself right back.
And has survived cancer, apparently, because we get this great scene.
It's been tough cookie.
Yeah, it builds her up fantastically. She fucks somebody out of it that very much deserves it.
Yes, sir.
And 3 years later, we see that the fighter that she has survived this. She is happy. She is off with her life. She's hanging off with a bunch of Muppets. Oh, damn it, you were doing so well.
Yeah, they're idiots.
You were doing so well.
Her friends are idiots.
Now, there was some really cool stuff that happened at the house party that we see her at 3 years later.
Yes.
One of the things that I really liked was, you get this guy. Now, he's an up-and-comer. He's the drug dealer. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. Brad?
Sounds right.
Possibly. No, he's handing out pills to some of the lads because that's apparently what he does.
By pills we mean disco biscuits, not aspirins.
No, definitely, yeah. These ones are called Joy Boys. He turns around to one of the lads.
Great name.
His exact words: "Don't be spiking people unless you're looking to get into trouble." And so, what do we see this Muppet boy doing?
Spiking people.
And then, what do we see in the background but your man Brad looking over, seeing it happen? As your man walks away, he comes over, swaps the cups around. I thought that was great. Well done, that man. Well done.
Yeah. Don't get attached to Brad, though.
No, don't get attached to Brad. Because he's awesome. That's a pity. That is a pity.
Anyway, Brad's instances aside, this is very much like in keeping with like Pulp Fiction and things like that, where there's multiple.
There's a lot of
Pulp Fiction, Snatch.
multiple
storylines that have one thing that ends up bringing the storylines together.
Yeah, basically, right? And Brad is kind of important. It's that we mentioned.
Yeah, Brad, while in the movie not long, is a very important key component to the whole storyline.
Yeah, because Brad has a key suitcase.
Yeah, speaking of keys, Brad's got loads.
Yeah!
Unfortunately, they're not the ones that open doors. They're the white powdery variety that large Russian mobster dudes would sell you in bulk.
Unfortunately, after the party, it seems Emily and her pack of Muppets have decided they're going off into the middle of, well, there's a villa that one of her friends rents out in this nice, quaint little village. So they're all headed up there.
One of their friends they haven't seen in a while.
What? No, they have.
Oh, they have? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was the missing dude.
No.
Okay, cool.
No. It turns out that one of the lads decided to grab Brad's briefcase as they were heading.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. Now, Brad is having a very bad day because he doesn't have the briefcase, and as aforementioned...
Or the money for said contents of the briefcase.
Aforementioned Russian mafia are very non-thrilled with this whole endeavour.
Well, I'm not 100% sure they're Russian. They're miscellaneous Eastern European mobsters.
Crap, I wasn't paying attention properly.
Neither was I.
It was Slavic.
Your man's got a very Boris the Blade kind of vibe to him, except without the adoring sense of humour.
Yeah.
Which is saying something.
That's certainly one way of putting it.
Yes. Which is saying something, because Boris wouldn't be renowned for his sense of humour either, to be honest.
Yeah, the character's name is Victor.
Yeah, Victor Boris. It's always one of those.
Yeah. So, anyway.
Mandatory name to run a...
I have to say, I did think it was... one of the things that is enjoyable about this movie is the quirky Australian sense of humour. And it's even commented on at one point, but one character is like, I forget you city slickers don't get our country sense of humour, because he's really into his gangbangs, apparently.
Well, just presuming there's gangbangs on. Although,
to be fair, one girl did turn around after inhaling...
He's from Sons of Anarchy.
Really?
Yeah. I want to say it's the Northern Irish season.
Yeah, Andy McPhee.
Yeah. Which would explain why no one could do Northern Irish accents in it if they got loads of Australian lads in.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway,
God damn it, I liked you. You're good. Although you turned out to be a bad guy in that season, if memory serves me correctly.
Anyway, what was I saying?
Yeah, apologies for all the head movements. My neck is broken.
Gangbang. Oh yeah, that's right. Your one snorted the stuff she was supposed to snort. Anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, they rent out the house. They instantly get the bad vibe off every single local that they can possibly, that decides to just appear and follow them.
Especially a large, charming chap named Barry the Cunt.
He's a problem solver.
He fixes problems.
Yep, and there's a problem, he fixes them.
Yep.
So they row up the locals the wrong way. They decide...
Don't worry if you've forgotten that line, by the way. They'll remind you of his business endeavours in the town repeatedly. Yeah,
so they row up the locals the wrong way. They decide they're going to have their party. Oh no, they can't, because they decided to tell the neighbours they're going to have a party. The neighbours then informed everyone else they were going to have a party, because apparently the one thing you don't do is say you're going to have a party around here, because it's a nice town filled with nice people.
No drugs in our town, you fuckwits. If you want to drink, you go to the fucking bar, and if you want to fucking do drugs, fuck off.
No gangbangs, or maybe have your gangbang.
No, gangbangs, from what I understand, are totally condoned.
But Barry definitely condones them. He'd take them instead of paying.
Welcome to the late party, Katie.
Hi, Katie. I fell asleep, so I'm extremely late to the party. Hello. Welcome to the party. Anyway, I won't be doing that again. So they aren't doing that either because they don't end up having. Well, they kind of do end up kind of having a bit of a session at the party. They get warned by what's his name? Eddie, who is played by Andy McPhee, as we already mentioned. And basically, you get the vibe that not anyone, actually nobody in the town wants them there because
Zero, nout, zilch.
yeah, because like they're clearly there just to do drugs and have gangbangs. So
Yeah. But just to clarify, to the best of my knowledge, the
Lots of
gangbangers are cool.
gangbangs.
Yeah, gangbangers are fine. It's the drugs is the issue. And
Yeah.
the drinking outside of the pub.
yeah. So meanwhile, Victor and his
I'll
lads.
just throw the poster. I'll just throw the poster for the movie up here really quick so you can get a big gook off.
Okay.
As you can see, there is the Faceless Man, compared to not see an overly large amount of him in the movie.
Sorry,
not
I'm just
An
looking.
underwhelming amount either.
I'm just looking for the names of Victor's cohorts. Oh, there we go. Morel.
They were two very good men. Very quiet men. Two very good, quiet, loyal men.
Uncle Boris and Uncle Morel, as his daughter calls them. That was just.
Didn't I tell you one of them was always Boris or Victor?
That
or
was,
both.
I have to say, that was adorable. There's a knock on the door. This little girl who's been smashing up Lego with a hammer because she's her father's good little breaker goes over and welcomes these two heavies, Uncle Morel and Uncle Boris, who give her little hugs and then.
You're murdering people.
Yeah! It's like, oh, she's getting hugged by grizzly bears before they go off to dismember some poor bastard, who turns out to be Brad. Brad's not having a very good day because he lost Victor's suitcase, by the way.
Yeah, Brad's having a very intense chat with Victor and the boys about said suitcase. Yeah. Also, side note, I really think you can see the undertone connotations that the daughter is very much going to take up in the dad's line of work.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Smashy, bossy.
So Victor, Boris and Morel now also have to make their way to rural Australia.
Yeah,
and
because they need to find these fuckwits who have alleviated young Brad of their briefcase.
Now, there is also a side note, because apparently Emily, after being spiked with pills, along with, what's the name of the...
Also, we should mention, outside of the town just being a little bit twitchy, the majority of the people that inhabit the town, all, including your man that's renting out the house, all happen to be part of this big, large biker gang.
No. Yeah. No.
A good chunk of the town are that biker gang.
I think King Dougie just calls in the bikers when he needs them.
No, because fucking Barry the Cunt's one of them. Because they come looking for the two lads.
Barry the Cunt and little guy,
And when you meet Barry the Cunt the first time, when all of the idiots are out in the restaurant causing a mischief, he's sitting with all the bikers and he's dressed like a biker and he's wearing...
That doesn't mean the entire town...
It's just, it didn't seem like a big town and it seemed like there was a lot of bikers. That's what I'm saying.
That's like saying that fucking Redwood was just owned by the Sons of Anarchy.
You have seen Sons of Anarchy, right?
I have, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so...
And not every person in the town was a biker, is my point.
Yeah.
In fact,
Yeah.
the vast majority of them weren't. There just happened to be a large biker gang that had residents and called the town its
Okay,
own.
I wasn't literally saying the whole town was bikers. I was trying to give...
just said that.
I said... I was trying to give a visual description of the... It's a very small town. As they drive through, there's about 20 houses. There's at least 40 fucking bikers. That's what I was saying. They could all live in a clubhouse for all I know. I don't fucking know. I was just saying that the whole town seemed like it was filled with bikers.
Anyway, getting back to the story at hand. Emily, while out of her gourd because one of the lads decides to
Because the bar they go to, run by a biker. The guy that owns the house that the lads are staying in, owned by the biker. The guy who fixes all the problems everywhere.
Fine, there's bikers everywhere.
Thank you.
Despite the fact that everyone else in the town is actually a normal person, it seems that the bikers live out of town and just come in whenever they're called by Barry the Cunt or King Dougie.
I don't think that's the way it is, but anyway.
Anyway, Emily, well, out of her gourd because she's been spiked because one of the arseholes loves spiking people, despite the fact that Brad
same guy who got spiked himself at the party
tried
because
to
he
teach
tried
him a
to
lesson.
spike your one. Yeah.
Spikes everyone, which is great for one of the girls because she can't find the yeah. Emily, well, out of her... No, before they even get spiked, Emily's found the suitcase of coke and hidden for some strange and unknown reason.
Yeah, I don't know why.
They can't find any of the coke. One of the girls, Nina, is going out of her mind because she can't find the coke.
Yep.
That's when she's told to shut up and drink her tea, which is spiked with stuff.
Yeah.
That's when she drinks the
quick
white powder,
question.
which turns out to be bat sauce.
Pause for a sec. I have to ask. There was that tea moment bugged me because it was kind of like, this tea tastes kind of weird. Oh yeah, you know,
It's because there are 15 million pills in it.
Yeah. Oh no, you'll be fine. Like, I mean, I'd be a little bit like, yeah, this. I feel like I'm going to.
Now, I don't do chemicals, but even I know that if you just plump a pill into a cup of tea, you're going to see the damn pill in a cup of tea.
It's fizzy on the top.
Ground them up. Dust. Anyway. So, yeah. While all this is happening, and interspersed, we see the fact that Emily may or may not be cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, because there is this faceless demonic thing that she's getting flashes of. Now, here's the thing. Because she's a cancer survivor, I really thought that perhaps maybe cancer's come back and there's a tumor pressing against her brain, and so she's hallucinating, and as a result...
Or she's off her box while spiked on drugs and the big monster things like a visual representation of the cancer. What?
She sees Faceless Man before she gets spiked. When they're on their way up to the cabin, when she stops off in the jacks, she pukes up a load of blood.
Oh, yes. So,
not just drug related.
She didn't see him, though.
She did.
No, he appeared behind her. I don't know if she clocked him.
Otherwise, what's the point in having it?
Okay. Oh, no, I'm not saying that she didn't never clock him. I just didn't think she clocked him in the bathroom the first time.
And then she pukes up blood.
Okay.
Which leads to the very natural
anyway,
assumption, she's got a brain tumor.
You can quite easily draw the conclusion that
she's nothing.
Or the cancer's back, or she's having all these weird fucking.
Point is, you can very easily come to the conclusion she's having mental issues, so that when things do become bloody and choppy,
we don't know exactly what's going on, because she's very quick to murder people.
Plus, there's all the fact that they're all out of their gourd on pills, and there's that one chick, Nina, who thought she found coke and it turned out to be freaking bat salts.
Yeah. Poor Nina.
By the way,
Nina's not having a good time.
Nina, who played by Lauren Cofield, when looking up stuff, it's funny to see her play that kind of a character, considering she could probably break arms and stuff in real life.
Why?
Because her audition tape is just her training.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Do you want to know something that I think you might have missed as well?
What? I don't know what you're trying to do.
I'm trying to find the actors. King Dougie. Mad Max.
Roger Ward. Oh, yeah.
Mad Max. Which I liked, because it's kind of like, if you think of where he fit into the story of Mad Max, and then he's running this rogue bunch of bikers out in the town somewhere in the middle of Australia.
I liked how his little speech centered back to the beginning of the film.
Yeah,
that was nice. Yes. That was a nice touch.
We won't ruin that, but it's a very good, an unexpected nod back.
Yeah, that was good. There's a lot of stuff in this movie.
Because the speech at the start of the movie, while absolutely amazing, doesn't super get referenced ever again throughout the movie. And I was kind of like, that felt like it was going to be leading to something.
I figured it was just like I said, more character building in 5 freaking minutes than
other movies we've reviewed.
Yeah, and as a result, it built up this rock hard character who has survived cancer, who has lived life on her own, put up with a fucking shit family life, and
a fucking bunch of friends.
Yeah, and we kind of saw glimpses of something like that. It kept kind of, some interesting moments.
Anyway, whole point of this whole thing is we, as I said, this all starts to accumulate together like a Pulp Fiction Snatch style movie.
I was very Pulp Fiction-y.
Very Pulp Fiction-y. I will say...
A lot of Tarantino nods.
Yeah, I will say my major issue with this was all of the storylines kind of didn't really come together as cohesively as Pulp Fiction, maybe. Not that I'm expecting everyone that does something like this to knock a Pulp Fiction out of the park.
At the end of the day, bunch of Muppets take something they shouldn't have taken, go to a place where they shouldn't take it, get told by the locals repeatedly, this is a nice place, we don't want shit here that we shouldn't have. Meanwhile, the people that they took said stuff from go looking for them. Eventually, everyone intersects at the house.
Yes, I get all of that angle. What I was trying to get at was that it's very hard to describe without actually mentioning scenes, if you know what I mean. So I'm hoping you get what I'm on about. It was the way everything culminated together was a lot more systematic than, say, Snatch or Pulp Pulp Fiction. Like all of the separate story angles and all those movies they felt generic and they felt like they're their own thing until all the little nuggets of, oh fuck, he's actually the guy that was heading there when the thing happened, and he's the guy that actually shot Vincent Vega. I never knew that that kind of thing. And there's kind of like there's a slightly like organized chaos in the way that everything kind of comes together, whereas this very much felt like, oh, the bikers met the kids, and then the fucking gangsters met the bikers, and then the blah blah blah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not that it's a bad thing. It was a little more systematic, But yeah. As I said, everyone meets up, things start to go fucking crazy.
Yeah,
and then murder happens. And fucking hell, once people start getting murdered,
there's a lot of fun things about this film. Primarily the fact that it's an Australian film that clearly isn't taking itself too seriously, has a good bit of gore, has a good bit of humor, has quirky characters.
There's a fantastic headshot in there that's nearly worth watching the movie just for the headshot alone.
Now, there are some gags that you're not going to get, but then again, they actually tell you in the film at one point, you're not going to get all of our sense of humor, which I thought was brilliant, by the way.
Yeah.
Just that one little bit of a line. And that kind of sets you up for some other really silly, kind of quirky stuff that happens.
Yeah,
like
it gets...
Barry Bill making the sandwich. I thought that was great.
I liked that. And actually, speaking of Tarantino, like it was a literal nod to Reservoir Dogs, that whole section.
Yeah, but I equated that whole sandwich making thing to the whole gag about Englishmen always making tea regardless of the situation.
Yes, I liked that too. It was very good.
Yeah.
And I also liked seeing a man get smacked across the face with his own hand.
Yeah.
I loved that.
Okay, maybe move into a trailer now, because I just realized what time it is and we still have another film to get through.
Oh shit. Okay. Yeah, sorry. Okay, so we're going to hit the trailer for The Faceless Man, and then we're going to be back talking Immortals. Yeah, I know. I didn't mean to hit that button. That was accident. That's how the newsroom works. So we're... Yeah, I'll fucking do it like this. Yeah, we're going to be back in a couple of seconds after the trailer for The Faceless Man, and then we'll be back talking about Immortals featuring Tony Todd and Sam Levine and...
Mario Van Peebles.
And loads. Literally loads.
Miles Diker? Miles Dillon?
Loads. Yeah, loads.
What do you want, Dad?
Is there anything that I can help you with?
You want to help me?
You know, it was just supposed to be me and you going away this weekend.
This is a good town with good people.
This is Charlie Lamont's house. Who are you?
Charlie's long gone. Edward Silverbeard, but you can call me Eddie. Whatever you do, don't go into the workshop.
Get out.
This is what happens when you bring drugs into my house. This is what happens when you bring drugs into my town! Batman.
But aim lower.
But him. Yes, that literally. If you've anyone seen my Batman promo, that's a very good description of me.
It
Batman,
is.
but
It
aim
really
lower.
is.
Anyway, so that was the trailer for Faceless Man. All of these are out around August 18th, bar this, which I believe is what we're doing now, which is September, I want to say 9th, which is coming up. So, starring Tony Todd and all of the people aforementioned before we got in, we have...
Dylan Baker was the name that I was trying to say, by the way.
Yes.
I'm an idiot.
We have Immortal, which is... it's an anthology series, so we've been discussing how we're going to get around this due to the fact that it's all short, which are... All of them are great short stories. They're really cool.
It's also worth mentioning that neither one of us, when we put on the film...
It was not what I was expecting.
Well, Pam was saying that she didn't realize it was an anthology. Neither did I.
Yeah, I hadn't read the biopsy before. I didn't realize it was an anthology. It was after the second one, which we'll get into, because we're like, how the fuck does this tie into the first bit? And then I was like,
I kind of thought
I
thought they were going somewhere else with it, but yeah.
Well, I'll explain when we get there. But anyway, so due to the fact that they're shorts, I'm going to give you the kind of synopsis of the movie, because there's a kind of a cusp that comes at the end of each thing, but we won't tell you how that cusp comes about, I suppose. Do you get me?
Yeah.
So the story, as you can guess, by it being called Immortal, it's an anthology series about all of these people and the stories behind how they end up finding out that they are, in fact, an immortal.
And it opens by having a fantastic English teacher. I mean, an awesome.
Yeah,
awesome
as English teachers in cinema go, this is English teacher.
He's fucking brilliant.
He's great.
Played by Dylan Baker. He's Mr. Shagus.
Yeah,
Now,
he's in loads of stuff. He's great.
Now, what's important about this is, it sets up the characters and the fact that he's the right kind of teacher. He sees that there might be something going on with one of his students and the coach of the running team.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. But the meat and bones of the scene is that they're talking about the Lord of the Flies, and they're talking about allegory. And he's explaining what an allegory is. He's getting examples. He's explaining it fantastically so that you, the viewer,
Are having a learning experience.
and are automatically prepped. Believe it or not, you don't realize it at the time.
Yeah,
but you're
it literally
prepped
sets you up for the whole movie.
for everything, because
Yeah.
everything, much like with a good George A. Romero zombie movie, the setting and the place, the immortality bit, is just a device to allow them to tell these fantastic stories. And as he mentions when discussing Lord of the Flies, allows them at times to tell stories that society would normally be kind of shunning, might find taboo, or might not normally discuss. And because of the plot device, they're able to do this fantastically in this film. And like I said, that one scene sets up everything. And best English teacher ever.
Yeah, until things happen. And it turns out that he's maybe not the best English teacher ever.
I don't know. Still,
Oh no, I tell a lie. He's a very good English teacher. He's a shitty human.
well, you see, here's
here's the thing. He's got a bit of a special talent.
he has
Which is he doesn't die.
he finds that out, and as a result realizes that once you don't fear death, consequences.
Go out the fucking window.
And as a very wise and often drunk man once said, there is no feeling like the hunting of armed men, and those who have done it long enough and enjoyed it find that they find no solace elsewhere. I'm paraphrasing, I can't exactly remember how Hemingway put it. It's pretty much words to that effect.
Yes. So
As a result, a story unfolds.
yeah, where a student goes missing with
Now-
the aid of an English teacher and some injections.
At the end of this story, and bear in mind, neither one of us realized it was at the end of it, I personally, when something happens, I personally stood there and went, please be the good English teacher. And as a result, both of us would really like to see the rest of this story, please.
Yes, if there's a if you know the way sometimes people write a short film, but they also have the feature film treatment for the short
and
in
it doesn't
case.
work.
Not always.
This is my point. When you take a short and it turns into a film and it doesn't work, this is one of those cases where we've got a short. The film would work, please. Give
Oh
us
yeah,
more.
the film writes itself. Actually, 3 separate films write themselves depending on what angle you want to go at.
Yeah, let's just stick with that
Ow.
opening story. And I honestly thought that I had an idea of where we.
Well, I meant there's 3. You could go where
I know.
she takes tacky and there's a whole thing.
Yeah, I get.
Or
what
she
you're
could go where it turns out there's a whole
Well, look,
legion of them. And
look, at the end of the day, this is one of those rare occasions where I'm actually sitting there at the end of a story going, I want to see the rest of it. I want it to be this way because logic dictates it should.
Oh.
But instead, we get this swerve because instead we get another story. And this is where the film, in my opinion, really comes into its fruition.
yeah, I won't lie to you. All the stories have that kind of angle to it. Like, as in, I would love to see where this goes.
Actually, sorry, I'm wrong. The next one, I was mistaken. The one that I'm thinking of is actually with Tony Todd. The next one up is not with Tony Todd.
No.
And it's the first one where you're kind of going, oh, we're not seeing a continuation of that story.
Well, actually, until halfway through this, I thought I was seeing a continuation.
And that maybe
because
there'd
of,
be
because of the way, and it was very smart editing or pacing by movie 1 to movie 2, but
Let's say
for
story
1
1.
to story 2, you feel this. You think that what you are seeing is the preluding story for the girl from story 1 initially, and then you realize, oh wait, this is a completely separate thing.
I like
what's going on here.
I figured it was a completely different thing, but I thought that there would be a connection.
I thought she was the baby in the womb.
No, because I figured.
I thought it was like a flashback.
No, I did think it was going to go a little bit differently, and once again, it's interesting how we think it's going to be a story about somebody finding out this new thing about themselves.
Yeah.
But in actuality, it's actually an interesting story about this couple and how their relationship is going.
Yeah, they're newly to have baby soon, and they're having some financial issues, to say the least.
Yeah, and the husband has come up with, like, it's one of those ideas where you're screaming, that's a stupid idea.
Yeah.
That's a stupid
Don't get me
idea."
wrong, it'll work, but it's a stupid idea.
And then you're kind of, as it goes along, you're kind of like, although I guess I could understand why he would do it.
Yeah,
You understand his reasoning at least.
Yeah, I got his reasoning. When you get to the cusp of the story, you realize why he was so primed to do this, which makes it even more reasonable how he got to this kind of conclusion. Because it's pretty fucking out there what he decides to do.
Yeah.
Do you know, as money getting schemes go, it's a pretty once-off maneuver. Do you know?
And then you get this interesting flip of a switch, and all of a sudden it's like, oh my sweet frack.
You cunt. Wait, what's going on? Wait, what's going on? Oh.
Now, once again, we're not going to, because they're shorts, we're not going to go into details, but nevertheless, this straight away means that, okay, we're not getting a continuation of that first story,
Yeah.
but we're seeing other people's experiences. Okay, I can accept that. And then we move on to...
Story 3.
Yeah, I just want to get the names right. Yeah, is it Ted and Agnes? No.
Yes.
Ted and Vanessa.
Ted and Vanessa? I thought Ted and Vanessa was the second one.
No. It was definitely Gary and someone else was the second one.
Okay.
Tony Todd plays Ted.
Anyway, featuring Tony Todd and...
Yeah, I think it's Agnes Bruckner as Vanessa.
Okay.
I think I'm getting that right. But this story exemplifies exactly what they were talking about in that setup scene at the beginning, whereby
Everything's an allegory.
Yeah, well, not just that. Circumstances allow them to straight up tell you a story, and in that society doesn't like talking about, and done in such a fantastic way. A film crew arrives on to do a documentary to highlight something very real, to highlight an issue very real in regards terminally ill people.
And should they be allowed to decide to pull the plug when they want to?
Now, the way this is handled is fantastic. You get honest reactions. You get Tony Todd giving a fantastic performance. As
It was so... For a guy who you're so used to seeing playing the big, scary bad guy in everything. And
or a heavy or something like that.
Yeah, it's a genuinely heart-wrenching experience watching this man go through this, and then watching his wife telling her flip side of it, and you're starting to see everything be revealed a little bit more, and it's a genuine kick in the balls.
Yeah,
and in an emotional way, not as in I feel like bad,
and it's cool because they have this really nice intersection at one point whereby they show both Ted and I'm going to say Vanessa again being interviewed, and they're coming up to, they basically both say the exact same thing
about each other.
Yeah, during their story. And
to put it in Friends terms, she's his lobster.
Okay. Anyways, okay. But it's really, the story is beautifully told. You do feel for the characters, you really do. And then once again, we can't get too much into it.
Yeah.
But there is a twist, and once again, if ever there was...
You find out why the camera crew are really here, and...
yeah, it was kind of getting to that stage anyway, but like I said, we don't want to talk about too much about the intricacies of the story.
As I said, everyone's immortal by the end of it, and we don't want to give away the
what I'm trying to
reveals, because the reveals are bloody good in every one of these.
Yeah, and like I said, this particular story,
oh god, it's a killer.
This particular story highlights, I feel, exactly what they wanted to do.
No, you're crying.
with this movie, and like I said, it's why we have the primer at the start of Mr. Shaggis and the class discussing Lord of the Flies, and that sets up a couple of things, but primarily discussing the notion of allegory, and especially that when they say about how it allows storytellers to tell the kind of stories that society might not necessarily allow them to do, or to explore things that are taboo or illegal. And once again, that one thing I feel really is the center of the movie. Don't get me wrong, the other stories are great fun. They really are, especially that first one. That we need to see the rest of it. But really, I think the story of Ted and Vanessa...
That was I really liked the first one because it's just the ending of it genuinely went, where's the rest of the... Not in a bad way, but in a real...
really
Where's the
good.
rest of the movie?
We want more.
I want the end of the movie. My rant about how the end of Umbrella Academy season 1 ended is as applicable here, where I was just like, what the fuck? Where the fuck is the rest of the... Oh, god damn it. I want it. But out of all of them, the one that like literally affected me, like it actually affected me the most, was the one with Tony Todd.
It's the most poignant. And
it's it's a genuine, like, not only is it a hard topic to see portrayed through film, but it's a valid topic that's as active today as it was whenever.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's something that can't be... I would say everyone needs to see that story, but it's something that unfortunately cannot be seen out of context.
Yeah, you need to see the movie to see the story.
But it's like...
Which says something about how well orchestrated this is, that all 4 movies complement each other so perfectly. Like, everything adds... While separate stories, they all add on a little bit to everything as an overall picture, and it's great.
And I'm actually still thinking about more things in regards how that film was put together right now. Considering story number 2, which is Gary and his missus.
His missus. Cunt. Sorry, pardon my language.
But it's like reflected then.
Yes.
With Ted and Vanessa.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, that just clicked with me now.
There's an absolute perfect flow of symmetry through this. It's amazing.
Now, then we move on to the third story, which it's worth mentioning by the way that in story number 2 had Mario Van Peebles come in as a guest star, I guess.
Yeah, he's the cable guy.
He is, and he's like kind of going, he's questioning a couple of bits and pieces, kind of like, okay, just like, you know, yeah, kind of like an outside third conscience voice, kind of like, you know, we're all, you know, gotta do what you can for the family, and life is there for be lived, and do what you gotta do to get through it. But
anyway, story 4, which is, what's his name?
Warren.
This is the only one we can tell you how he finds out he's immortal, because it's not actually the twist in the movie. It's Warren's birthday, and he's not having the worst birthday, but he's not having the best birthday either. He's having what some would call a mediocre birthday.
Just before we get into it, Warren is played by Sam
Levine. Levine. He's related to your man from that band.
I was going to say I last saw him, I think, in Person of Interest.
Yeah, he's in that. He's most notably known for Freaks and Geeks.
Oh, okay.
He used to be in.
Okay.
NBC TV show. Anyway, this being, as I said, one of the few movies we can actually get into, or the only segment we can get into as to how he becomes immortal. It's Sam's, or what's the character's name? Warren, thank you. Sorry, I had Sam Levine in my head. It's Warren's birthday. He's not having the greatest birthday, but he's not having a terrible birthday. It's just a birthday.
He's thinking about life. He gets a phone call from the mother. You know, he's thinking about the fact that he's getting older. He's single. You know, what way is life going?
Yeah, Mum's doing the typical, hey, you're 34 now and you're still not married. You know, you need to do the whole fucking thing. And then
she's not even pressing that hard. To be fair,
I'm trying to get through fast. Yeah. Anyway, Warren's crossing the road, and the fucking bang! He gets hit.
From out of nowhere, like
from
a fucking
out
RKO.
of nowhere. You'd swear it was out, like scary movie level out of nowhere. Do you know what I mean?
Straight up.
Done. And there's a fantastic shot of Sam and his neck all disconjointed and discombobulated, and it was fucking gross. And my neck's wanked at the moment as well, so I felt for poor Warren. Because fucking hell. My neck still looks straight. And anyway, the lady is a bit of a cunt, and she leaves Warren's dead corpse, presumably because in her defense, he didn't look like he was alive. Do you know?
So that's her defense from...
No. I'm not saying that she shouldn't call the cops and call an ambulance and hope to try and save the guy's life in case he is alive. But what I'm saying is, if you were to... He'd be one of those guys that if it was me walking by, I'd be like, don't need to know, do I check? I'm pretty sure I don't need to check his pulse. Do you know what I mean? That kind of thing. So she drives off. And then, as we said, everyone in this movie is immortal. So... Yeah,
Warren wakes up and finds out that she left her license plate behind. I thought that was really... no, it's lying next to him. I thought that was a really nice touch because when you see the car, there's no license plate on the front. I was like, that's weird. Oh, it's because it's under him apparently.
Oh, it's plot hook.
So he uses this and hires somebody to track her down.
Yeah. Well, first he goes home and he notices tests a few things because he notices that he's literally washing cuts off his arm quite easily, and he is quite aware that his neck rejointed itself, and he's not exactly
his leg
sure.
Fixed itself back into place.
He's seen a couple of freaky things go on in the last couple of hours that would lead him to believe shit's not.
He's pretty sure his broken ribs aren't broken anymore.
Yeah, he's feeling dandy after a man who got discombobulated in a car crash several hours earlier. I'll put it that way. And Warren, unlike some people, thought this is fucking odd. Let's test this. Myself and Pam were discussing his test series because there was one or two of them. I was like, I wonder. She was like, would you try and kill yourself if, like... And I was like, I don't know, because it's like, I've already established I super heal. I was like, I'd probably... here's what I'd do. I would probably do the swimming pool thing, because I'd be like, can I breathe underwater? Because I wouldn't. I don't know what my superpower is. But, you see, he did the smart swimming pool thing.
Did he really?
He did, because he didn't tie himself to the cinder block. He just held on to it.
And then it looked like he didn't pay attention to how long he was under there for.
Because
very surprised.
Yeah, but he didn't black out or anything.
Oh yeah, fair point.
Yeah, he just stayed down there until he was like, okay, this feels like it's been an unnaturally large amount of time.
Okay.
So I'd have done that. Okay, it would appear I can breathe underwater. Now, it's not literally I can breathe underwater, but for my layman's terms...
My brain isn't popping, I'm not dying.
For layman's terms, I can breathe underwater. I'd probably have gone on a roof and chucked myself off next. Worst case scenario, I can super heal. But can I fly?
Huh.
Not Empire State Building roof. You know, like
I cannot.
Do you know, like up in the roof here? That kind of thing. You know,
well, maybe.
Quick dive off, give the old flaps a go, see what happens.
It'd suck, but hand in a fire.
Yeah, he cut himself with a knife. I feel hand in fire, like that. Once you've established one thing, you're healing. Do you know what I mean? What else would I do? There would have been a lot of me sitting in the living room concentrating, seeing can I do laser beams out of my eyes or lift shit with my mind or...
Why would you think you could do any of them just because you can heal?
Because I don't know what my superpowers are.
Healing and apparently immortality.
Yes, but here's the thing, and I was actually saying this to Pam, and it could be in the X-Men as well. Do you know the way, like, say, Superman, he can fly, he's got...
My name is Claire Bennett, and this is attempt number 6.
Yes.
Well done, Katie.
Thank you. That's exactly the vibe I was thinking. Thank you.
She walked through fire.
I'm not saying don't do the fire, but I'm just saying once I've done the slashy thing, I've established I can heal anyway. Do you know what I mean? But what if some of those mutants have more powers than they think to do? It's just that they were like, oh, you can run up walls. Okay, that's what I do. I run up walls.
That's what writers loved doing to retcon shit.
Do you know what I mean?
Secondary mutations.
Like, because it's like, do you get why I'm doing what I'm doing now? Because it's like, okay, Superman, super strength, he's got laser beams, he can fly, he can breathe in space.
To be fair,
I know he's an alien.
I was going to say, to be fair, they did exactly that in Shazam. They had a checklist. The kid had a checklist.
Sorry, I haven't actually seen Shazam, but yes, yeah.
One of the kids had a checklist of comic book superpowers, and the other guy attempted them.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, telekinesis. Damn.
See what I mean? Like that kind of thing. I'll put it this way. I had, when the whole movie started, I was like, I hope there is some sort of immortal montage of me trying to murder myself repeatedly. Like as in I'm Claire Bennett, this is attempt number 6 kind of vibe. This is the
Bill
one.
Murray, Groundhog Day.
Yeah, this is the one. This is the one that it happens. It's not the most lively amount of things that he does, but this one, it's good.
Anyway.
And then there's the hook, which we won't get into because that's the big hook.
Yeah, he's
salty about getting run over and been left in the middle of a road.
And then apparently he spends a load of money on someone to do a job far more detailed than he expected when he just wanted an address. And
Yes.
apparently that could have just been like $20 in a Google thingy or something.
Yeah, but that's what happens when you outsource people without reading the ad properly.
But to be
it did
fair,
work out quite beneficial.
He did
And
get a really handy dandy spy device. That was awesome.
He did get a handy dandy spy device, and what I found more impressive was your man gave him whatever the secret link of the day was for the magical video that teaches you how to pick locks in fucking 4 hours, which I was like, fuck yeah. I was like, well, I'll have that video, thank you very much. And it was a very nice lockpick kit he got as well. And your man is also, do you want guns, drugs, whatever? Your man, you tell me what you want and when you want it, and I'll get it. And I was like, that is a handy fella to have in your phone book.
Yeah.
Probably not, actually, sorry, tell you like, probably not in your phone book. Written on the back of your bed somewhere. Underneath the floorboard. That kind of thing. I feel having his number in your phone book will lead to issues.
This is...
He just strikes me as that type of cat that if the fucking cop saw his number in your phone book, there'd be...
You know the way I've got a library?
Yeah.
So certain books would have certain thematic qualities.
Yes.
Therefore, links in my head.
Yes. I'm not... I merely just threw out 2 ideas off the top of my head.
I'm saying that's...
Have it tattooed, incorporated into a bigger tattoo where no one can see it. And only you were able to decipher the code of wonderfulness.
Oh, it's Prison Break.
Yeah. Prison Break.
For 1 season. 1 good season.
1 good season. When the map on his body actually made sense. And other than that, it was just a whole load of tattoos.
Yeah. So, anyway, I think overall we can safely say that Immortal
This is good.
was fucking brilliant,
This is good. This is my movie of the night.
Yeah, please give us more of that first story. Please. Like, I can practically see where it's going. And I want to see it because
While I releasing, have a chat with whoever directed that one. We want an extra 60 minutes. How long was that? About 20? Yeah, 20.
Maybe.
School scene included. Easily 20.
Yeah, 15, 20
Yeah,
minutes maybe.
15, 20 minutes. Yeah, we'd like another 60 minutes, please.
We all know where it's going. It practically writes itself.
Yes.
Please, we just want to see it.
Yep.
It would be amazing to like.
Yeah, as I said, you can go superhero wise with it. You can just go straight up immortal with it. You can
I'd go.
I know you'd go. We know what you're going to do.
I would be the good teacher.
See, I don't know what you mean when you say that.
Well, you know, at the end of the day, this was a slight error in judgment, considering the way that I normally do things, which he does mention. He does mention he has a normal way of doing things.
Yeah, he's feeling spicy this week.
And he also mentions that he had something different in mind. So, be a good teacher. Go with plan A before you decide to go with plan B. Except now you have a pupil.
Yes, except you have trust issues with your pupil now because you kidnapped her. And were going to murder her.
These things can be worked on.
Until the unfortunate incident of her.
Let's stop talking and...
Yeah, okay. Anyway.
Film's great.
Yeah, film's so good. It's really good.
So
and
good.
God damn it, just to see the performance by Tony Todd because it's absolutely moving.
They're all brilliant.
Yeah, I know, but it really punched me in the feels. It's a fucking hard one. In a very well done
I'll be honest,
filmmaker.
it was as I said, I think it's Agnes Brunker.
Yeah.
Bruckner. I think it's Agnes Bruckner plays, but yeah, I think I'm right about Vanessa. Yeah. It's just there's a part in that interview, and it's just I feel there are an awful lot of people that are just going to go, "Thank you, yes, thank you."
Yeah.
You know, it's one of the reasons why I think it's such a poignant story.
Yeah, it's fucking. Have your Kleenex out. Get your glasses clean. Make sure you don't get any dust in your eye, because there's a good chance if you do, you might cry a little bit at the end of it, because you know how dust can affect the pupil and things like that. Anyway, we hit the trailer. Okay, we're going to hit the trailer for Immortal, and then we're going to be back to say our goodbyes and our toodaloos and let you know what's coming up this week on the shows.
Imagine what it would be like if you can't die.
Pain is a strange thing. It's there in your body as an alarm system to tell you if there's something wrong.
And when you don't eat or sleep, your days get pretty long.
You just can't get your feelings.
Try to pretend the camera's not even here. Tell me what was going through your mind the first time you heard the diagnosis.
Well, I went through all the different stages of grief. That sense of normalcy that you once shared, it's sacrificed really quickly.
Why is it that we paint good guys in such infuriating clothing? Every hero with a conscience has some debilitating physical deformity or a self-confidence problem, while the evil, satanic torturers of the literary world get to wear capes of leather and drive great cars. What do you think it says about us as a society that the bad guys are always more fun?
Now, for everybody's safety, you make sure you keep your hands where I can see them at all times. On your knees is fine. Be comfortable.
Anyway, that's the trailer for Immortal. Make sure to go check that out in the article down below in the description box. It's got all of the release dates and things like that for the movies. So make sure to go check that out there. And as is customary, we give you the lineup for what's coming up for the rest of the week. So join Buzz and Carter this Tuesday for another original versus remake, where they're going to be doing Child's Play versus Child's Play, which for once I'm interested in, because as original versus remakes go, this is completely fucking different from the original, opposed to it being similar beats.
Yeah.
Personally, it didn't have a lot of redeeming features outside of Mark Hamill does good voices for me. But other than that, we'll see how Buzz and Carter feel about it. I feel it'll be probably the same. Because most people, more than likely, well, judging by every reviewer's critique of it, more than likely, because, Anyway, and next Thursday, which is a surprise for everyone, we're going to be doing, not horror. Well, we might throw, there might be a horror one in there, but we're going to do worst video game movie adaptions. So prepare for some Jean-Claude Van Damme Street Fighter.
That didn't happen!
It did, and it did happen because Raul Julia is fucking magnificent in it.
He's Gomez!
Yeah, I know, but he's a bloody good boy.
No!
He's the only good thing. He's the only good thing about that movie.
No!
Oh, the only other good thing about that movie is where, for some reason, they have them all do the fucking superhero jump at the end of the movie. It's fucking fantastic.
There is only one live-action version of Street Fighter. It's Assassin's Fist.
That's not true, but that is definitely...
That is definitely true.
No, it's not true. But
there's only one good live-action of Street Fighter.
No, that's definitely true. There is only one
Sorry,
good
there's only
live-action
one live-action version of Street Fighter.
Yeah. Where are the redeemable qualities of Raul Julia's performance in this?
No!
Yes. Raul Julia is amazing. He's great. Anyway.
He is. It's Gomez Adams.
Okay, well, look, it could get worse. Because it will get worse. Do you remember Double Dragon?
No! I remember it was a good game, it was an alright cartoon, and it was a pile of scrap as a film. That's so bad I couldn't even find it when I tried to find it, because I got it into my head to go and find it one day.
Find it, or I'll animate my own one. I don't
can give you the cartoon series. It's better. It's cheesy as fuck, but it's better.
I remember the cartoon series. It's great.
To be a dragon, you gotta be strong, humble, never bragging. Still better than the live-action bollocks.
Okay, I'll make it fair. Do you have a third one?
Bad one?
Well, bad-ish. We could put like Silent Hill on, so we have a horror one. I just feel Buzz and Carter did all the Resident Evil series. We could put a Silent Hill on if you wanted.
There was one that had nothing to do with its game.
Fear
Near
the Dark. Fear the Dark?
Possibly. No.
Did it have
Kevin Bacon?
No, it wasn't Kevin Bacon. What's your man? Oh, he played Frost in Blade. Stephen Dorff, yeah.
I don't think so.
Okay. We can do your Kevin Bacon horror game movie.
No, I don't wanna.
Well, we're going to have to.
No, I'll figure something out.
Well, as you've seen, the first two movies I picked are knocking it out of the park. So if you want me to pick a third one, I can.
Tekken was pretty horrific.
Do you want to do Tekken?
No, I don't want to do Double Dragon.
The only redeemable feature about Tekken is they got Jin Kazama's hair right. It's very up there, which makes it hard.
We could do Dead or Alive.
Oh, Jesus. Do you know what the interesting thing about the Dead and Alive horror, or the Dead and Alive, the horror that was the Dead and Alive live action movie was? It's got
a tiny little pink Hulk in it.
It does, but you know the way the entire game was based around hot women in bikinis with like physics-defying bouncy boobs. So it took the one thing that the game was renowned for and pulled it clean out of the fucking TV series or the film. Yeah, well, you'd feel that you were watching the TV series if you watched it. Let's start. Do you want to call it Dead or Alive, or we can leave it up to you for a day or two?
Let me dwell on it for a bit.
Okay. Street Fighter and Double Dragon, though. Fuck yeah. Sorry, he's got PTSD when it comes to Street Fighter. And
it's not post anything.
And next Sunday, to clean Giz's palate after all of the dog shit that we're going to be reviewing on Friday, because we do it for you folks, so you don't have to. What was it you wanted to do next Sunday?
Oh, there's been a couple of interesting releases lately. Well, one of them is going to be getting a DVD Blu-ray release at the start next month, and we actually discussed that in a news bit, but it's already got released digitally. That's Blood Quantum.
Oh, yes.
Ghosts of War is set in World War II. I think a bunch of American soldiers take over a chalet that turns out to be haunted.
It's pronounced chalet.
It's pronounced haunted as fuck.
Oh, Lord.
And I don't think they're able to leave.
Like House on Haunted Hill haunted or Luigi's Mansion haunted?
Neither one of those was very haunted.
Luigi's Mansion was haunted as shit.
I'm thinking of the haunting. House on Haunted Hill was good.
Okay. Yeah. Perfect. Okay. And what was the third one?
Sputnik. Which is burning up the film festival scene, or the digital film festival scene it was. It's going to be subtitled, telling you now. So,
I don't have a problem with subtitles.
Apparently,
do you have any idea how much anime I watch?
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Apparently, Russia's endeavors into outer space did not come without consequences.
Oh, no. Nuclear monkeys.
Those consequences come back.
Oh, dear.
I'm going to stop trying to do a Russian accent now.
Not good. And... Sorry. And starting next Sunday, which is a new thing that we're going to do, mostly because Giz plays, as you've heard us reference, and Bill, who's not here tonight but is in the chat ordinarily.
See, he's not here when I can defend myself with Giz.
But they play a tabletop game called Call of Cthulhu, which is general mental madness, all based around the magical talkings, workings in world made by H.P. Lovecraft. And there's a video game for that, which I've got on the PS4. So Giz shall be joining me for the next couple of Sundays, where we're going to be doing double streams on a Sunday night. So you can join us on Twitch, which is www.twitch.tv/GoreCast Unplugged, where we're going to be doing a playthrough of the Call of Cthulhu video game.
Fair warning, I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of profanity and me screaming, "Run, you fool, run!"
Yes. Well,
fly, you fool, fly.
Here's what I'm going to do. You and I are going to cohesively brain on this, right? So we're going to merge brains for it. I'll do a proper playthrough.
You're counting on my Cthulhu mythos knowledge to help me.
No, I'm relying on you to be you in relation to the world of Call of Cthulhu, and I'm going to go with whatever the middle ground between you and I decide is. I might do a playthrough of it where I do the full Johnny.
Important safety note: under no circumstances whatsoever
to let you near your fire.
No. Under no circumstances whatsoever, Bill, do you rip the pages out of a Necronomicon. Especially, do not continue doing it after the first one has blood streaming from it.
I don't think it's going to get that way. But anyway, join myself and Giz, which that will be from 8 o'clock on Sunday night until about 10, and then we'll take a 2-hour break and we'll be back doing our show here as usual.
Yes. Sorry, I was thinking our show where I have to review those terrible movies. No, that's Thursday. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, up until I started doing the Dark Souls stream.
There's going to be a lot of profanity on Thursday. You know that, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
fine.
More so than usual for me.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's fine. Doesn't bother me.
Pretty sure it's going to bother my house.
I do streams on Twitch all week. It's just I haven't really had many horror games in the PS4 genre. So it's just been mostly Warzone because I love running around shooting people in the fucking head. Don't ask me why. It's fun. Or Fall Guys, which is great. It's a cartoony. It's for kids, but it's a kids game where there's like these adorable cartoony marshmallowy looking characters, but it's essentially Takeshi's Castle.
Okay.
To the point that one of them actually is literally the one where you just have to run at fucking doors and hope for the best. Madness. So it's like a crazy Takeshi's Castle, which I won't lie to you. I know I don't look like the guy who should be the rep for Fall Guys, but fuck me, it's a fun as fuck game. And contrary to how much gaming I've done, and
fun is fun, dude.
And Warzone and stuff, I have screamed on stream at fucking Fall Guys. It's very annoying. You go to do your like Pele dive just to get over the finish line. Some fucker grabs you by the feet or something like that. You're just, no, you fucktard. Fuck you, Newton. Fuck you, gravity. Fuck you with your fucking pink fucking soda water, whatever it is that's coming up behind me. Goop. I hate you all. But Fall Guys, it's amazing. You should give it a go.
And on that note, I think GoreCast.
We might take a break from Call of Cthulhu one day, and I'll let you play a couple of games of Fall Guys.
Oh, I see where that's going.
It'll be fun.
I see exactly. Remember what Bill said about giving me controllers, don't you?
Remember, I'll be right beside you. And on that threatening note, join myself at the Giz next week. We're going to be talking about some sort of other mad horror bollocks. GoreCast out.